Hello people, I hope you are doing well. Well, let's talk about the Football World Cup. Now, I believe this is going to be the best World Cup ever. Not necessarily because some big teams are not doing as good as they were expected and some smaller teams are doing better than they were expecting, but because it has a major political implication. And that is that this World Cup has actually caused the Western world to wake up to a very harsh reality. That is that other people, other cultures also exist. Because for far too long, West has been enjoying its solipsism, that only themselves were in existence. Everything else was just a figment of their imagination. Inferior cultures, backward-looking people, and if they don't accord with the Western values, then obviously they are regressive beings. But they woke up to this very harsh reality that some people can actually get up and say, shut up. I mean, this is just the language used there, the shut up. It actually causes physical pain, and it has caused physical pain. If you look at the Western media way in which they are portraying things, if you look at even the sports shows, the type of questions they are raising, if you look at BBC, for example, BBC not covering the opening ceremony in the traditional way that it normally does, and all those things put together, it shows that the West is deeply uncomfortable. And I think that's a very good thing. No one should have any misunderstanding that Western liberalism, the liberal hegemony, is on decline. The Western liberal democracies are on decline. Around the world, they are on decline. Since 2006 onwards, they are experiencing a consistent decline. The rise of populism in the West is giving the liberalism a very hard time. But when there is something which happens slowly, so kind of a decline that happens gradually and slowly over a period of time, but when something major happens, then the process of decline accelerates. And I believe this World Cup can be that major thing. I mean, who would have thought 30, 40, 50 years ago that, people in the West, they could have been told, shut up, by someone in the Middle East. Middle Eastern countries, the West always frowned upon them, looked down upon them, with the exception of their favorite country, of course. That's a different matter. And that's Israel, just in case if you misunderstand me. But all the other Arab Muslim countries, they're just backward people. How dare they even think that they exist without our consent? We will tell them what to do. And here we are, lo and behold, 2022, where we have people of Qatar in unapologetic terms, in so many words, they are saying, shut up. It's my country. If you don't like it here, you are not welcome here. And they are doing it with full confidence. And I think this is something which is important because, you see, the World Cup, it is sort of a month-long event, about 28 days. But the implication can be very serious because sometimes all it takes is for someone to stand up and say, enough is enough. And all the other people who are sick and tired, but possibly waiting for somebody else, some other country, some other entity, some other person to get up and say, enough is enough. Maybe that is what is going to happen now. Maybe other countries will stand up to the West now. And maybe this Qatar, what I would like to call the Qatar Confidence, maybe this Qatar Confidence will permeate in the world. And people will ask the US, why on the earth, literally on the earth, do you have 700 military bases? Sorry, why do you interfere in my country's domestic affairs? Sorry, why do I have to sell oil to buy medicine? Why do I have to sell oil to buy food for my people? And these are some very good questions. And I'm very sure 500-600 years down the line, when historians will look back to these questions, they would be wondering why the people of West were so ruthless, that they were literally putting embargoes on countries, that you cannot do any trade because we don't like you. No country is going to do trade with you because we don't like you. So you're either with us or you're against us and so forth. I mean, this sort of barbaric rule, which at the moment is not being seen because the people who glorify are also part of the West. That is the Western media. That is your BBC. That is your Fox News and CNN and ABC and so forth. But they are not going to be around for too long. But I'm not really worried about that too long. And that's not the reason I'm talking to you here. The reason I'm talking to you here is that I believe that in near future, this Qatar confidence is going to permeate in the world and people will stand up. And I think this is what makes this World Cup the best World Cup in the history.